2. Scoopy and Reg in Newark, New Jersey. Brought to you by Catalyst Case.
Shouts to Catalyst Case.
We must shout that sponsor out. First episode, Scoopy and Reg.
We're numbering them?
Yeah, well,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, you never forget your first.
Okay, you're right. All right, well, I'll give you that one.
I'll take it.
First of all, I am Brandon Scoopy Robinson. Here with my man Reg. Reg, what up?
Going on, bro? I'm tired as hell.
Why are you tired as hell?
I'm doing the real estate thing, so I was renovating this property over in East Orange. I was there till like 4 a.m. yesterday. I haven't slept at all, bro.
Get that money.
Yeah.
And the voice that you hear in the middle is none other than Miss Tahiry Jose.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Of course.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Been trying to get you in here for a little while now, and
yeah, I'm here though.
Yeah,
you took the track. I appreciate it.
I'm here. I had to. I mean, he's cool. Calls me. What am I supposed to do, Reg? Am I supposed to say no? I could never say no.
You could, but you didn't.
I'd never say no. We support each other.
You have to support each other.
As soon as you called, we was like, all right, we got to get downstairs.
Yeah, because I'm working on my patience. Although I'm already a grown woman, and that's kind of hard to do. I'm trying to get better with it. But Scoop knows. I was like, where am I? Where's the building? I'm gonna kill you. He said, I got chicken. I said, oh, okay, I'm coming upstairs. You guys were treating me very well.
Of course.
Thank you.
The first episode, as I mentioned before, of Scoopy and Reg, we are a entertainment, technology, lifestyle podcast here. And we tape in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. Have some of your favorite entertainers, people who maybe be behind the scenes, and people who are interesting or on the come up. Tahiry, you are somebody that I've paid attention to. First time I ever heard your voice. Funny story. Fabulous's first album.
Oh, wow.
You did a voiceover.
I did.
And I was like, yo, who was this? And then years later, I was in college. A friend of mine, my boy John, goes, yo, you ever watch Joe Button TV? I was like, nah. I couldn't stop watching it. Y'all were like hilarious.
It's crazy because I was telling someone the other day that you're like one of the first social media influencers. Like I remember watching that.
The GOAT. Yep, that's me. No, we've been doing it forever.
No, you meant that.
I did for a few reasons, but no, we definitely were doing this right before YouTube got like popping. Like it was just right at the beginning. It was Believe, Joe Button, Soulja Boy, and Tahiry that were working the social media, MySpace, Twitter. All these things were happening, and they were happening fast, and we were connected.
Do you feel like when you were doing Joe Button TV, that was kind of the precursor to what is now?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely was.
Where do you think, if that's the precursor and the Instagram stage is now, what's next?
Wow. I've been definitely trying to wrap my head around what could be next, because, I would like to invent this shit so I could blow the fuck up a lot bigger and say, yeah, I own this platform. But I haven't really kind of wrapped my head around what else we can do, what else could be bigger than what we have right now. There's been plenty of apps, and I've had certain people reach out to me so I can be a part of another platform, and nothing seems to kind of kick it off or beat right now what we have that's called Instagram and even Facebook.
Because Facebook's buying everything. Yeah,
Facebook is like where I could find my great-grandma shit if she was still. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be on there and find people you went to school with that you've lost touch with. Instagram is a lot funner and a lot younger. And, my aunts don't like Instagram, but they love Facebook, so.
Yeah. Scoopy and Reg in studio with Miss Tahiry Jose, talking Instagram, talking lifestyle, and more. You talked about just what's next, and one of the things that I think is interesting about you is the fact that I think for as much as people pay attention to you on social media or pay so much attention to you and who you dating, etc., I guess that matters to whomever, you actually are running your own business.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know. I've done it before. The club in Harlem, I was a part owner of that. It was 3 of us. That business didn't go so well, or I decided to tap out early because I was working so much on the road. And I realized in business, if you don't take care of your stuff, no one is going to take care of it like you are. Yeah. So I was still on the road heavy, and I wasn't ready to stop what I was doing to be in that club. And it's actually the business I love. And then after that, just Tahiry, the brand itself, like I've been working for myself for 10 years, and that's pretty hard because if I don't get up and, go make that check, it doesn't happen. And now the nail shop, 718 Hoboken, that it's in Hoboken, 718 Washington Street. Mm-hmm. That was one of my investments. It's really hard.
Yeah, congratulations on the nail shop.
Thank you.
Though. So I was always curious because we kind of alluded to it earlier, but the fame thing, because I was talking to some friends and I was like, I don't think I could ever, like, people constantly in your business, people
right.
always in it. Like, how do you deal with that?
I have to remember that I put myself out here, like I made that decision, and it comes with the territory. After a while, you grow a thick skin. I think that because I started in the game with Joey, and Joey was such a I don't give a fuck kind of person. He saw me kind of break down a few times, and he would just kind of, give me advice, and just he made me toughen up and understand what I was walking into. So I've learned not to care. I've learned to just be. I've learned not to hide, because if you hide, like it's unavoidable. Shit, I remember posting on a plane, and then just some of my sneaker was in the picture, and I was walking trying to be sneaky and creep, and they just caught it anyway. I just don't give a fuck. And I'm really not out there. I'm so busy working that some of those things I don't really care for, and people talk anyway, whether or not you do something, so you just gotta not care.
They took that shit to another level, though. You saw that whole fake, what's it called again? The Travis Scott. Like, that was malicious as fuck, bro.
Yeah, that can be very, being in the public eye is not as easy as, everybody wants fame, but not everybody can handle it. But I choose not to care.
The dream is free, the hustle is sold separately.
Whew. Preach.
Word.
It's hard. And I always say that it's hard if you're not willing to put in the work. Like, what's the point? So people think just because you have 1 point some followers that's exactly what you're going to sell, and it's not. Like, if that was the case, these rappers would be doing numbers out of this country. You know what I mean? Out of this world. It's building your brand. Nobody's done it better than Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
He's built a brand. You know what I'm saying?
Not a brand.
Yeah, so...
So if you, like, say tomorrow, like, you got, like, a ridiculous bag. You got, like, I don't know, $15, $20 million. You'd still do it?
Oh, yeah. I'm no regrets.
All right, fantastic.
No regrets. It's opened a lot of doors. I've been blessed to have this platform. I use it for a lot of positive things. Anytime I have a fan come up to me and express how much they love me, I appreciate them. It's a reminder for me to keep moving. And let's keep it real. Once you bit by that famous bug, it's the craziest drug ever. You want more and more.
I tell you, Reg, her notability got us pushed ahead in line in Applebee's once. No,
Word?
Olive Garden once.
I think it's an Olive Garden.
Last summer.
I love the salad. I love the salad at Olive Garden.
We went to Olive Garden, and there was we walked from one building, went over to the Olive Garden. It was like a 20-minute wait. All I know is we put our number in, or our name in. 5 seconds later, ring, ring, ring.
That happens in a lot of places.
And somebody said, "You know why we got ahead of the line, right, Tahiry?" She says, "Why?" He goes, "That ass."
That happens in a lot of places. And then I walk around and don't care, and then my friends are like, "Yo, did you not notice?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yo, you just don't be paying attention." And I'm like, "I don't notice."
You gotta put blinders on this shit.
Yeah, I just try to go about my business like a regular person.
It was dope. Like, Ace Hood was talking about, like, hanging out in Walmart, and he was basically like, as a rapper, he always felt for the longest like, I can't go to Walmart, I can't be seen in Walmart. But it's like,
I don't care. None of that shit tells you the number of my bank accounts, the zeros, like none of that. Like,
everybody likes to save money.
Like, get out of here. No, and I love me some Target. I be at Target. My mother loves Walmart, so you name it, I'm like, Ma. But like, there's certain places you can't be depending on where the location of the store is for safety reasons at times. Definitely. Unless you got like security with you. But for the most part, you could walk around and it is what it is. Like, we all go to certain stores.
You ever been worried about your safety?
Yeah, absolutely. I've moved from place to place at times, from getting fan mail and having somebody send me letters and saying they're scooping me up and shit.
You can't use scoop in that sentence.
Yeah, I was going.
Definitely been
I couldn't deal
concerned,
with
and
that
I've
shit.
gotten in certain altercations where you think, I thought everybody liked me, but there happened to be that one fan that did it. So, also your reaction, because you're human, so somebody touches you the wrong way, you're gonna react. So, I believe that security is around so they can just handle the situation. So I won't react if somebody grabs my cheeks, which has happened before. So it's like, it's not
savage.
Savage out there.
I remember a few years ago, I was at the Global Spin Awards.
Right.
And I was doing press there, and I remember I walked up on you.
Right.
Like, nothing malicious, nothing crazy. You had somebody with you.
Yeah.
And I tapped your arm, and the guy turned and was like, what's going on? For you, safety, and particularly because of the line of work that what you do, first of all, do you consider yourself a vixen, or do you think that's overly used?
Shit. I consider myself a sex symbol.
Uh-oh.
I don't. Shit. I definitely do. Video vixen today is very loosely used. It's lost. I'm trying to find the word. Like,
it used to have like some weight to it.
It used to have some. It used to the fabulousness of, you couldn't just get a cover if, you wasn't putting in some kind of hard work. Like, you couldn't get certain videos. And I remember my first video, having a trailer and having white roses, and like things were just done in a different way. And it was kind of respected. It doesn't, nowadays you could just be Bubbles from around the corner and you could be in a magazine. Yeah. So Instagram has done that, which is cool, but no, I'm pretty much like one of the last ones standing. Real ones too, natural 100%. So I probably entered the game when it was all over for a video vixen. Before me, there was a Gloria Velez, Vida Guerra, Melissa Ford.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
And it kind of had a different feel to it. And I came at the end of it, and that's when print was going out too. We was entering the new wave of tech, social media. That no longer physical copies were important, like it was all online.
It was crazy because I was talking to someone the other day about us just being desensitized to like sexy and like sex and everything.
Yeah.
We went to the strip club the other day, me and my boys, and we got there, and I'm looking at the strippers, and I'm like, bro, what they're wearing isn't any different than what we see.
Strippers now. No.
Yeah. It's like I see this shit at the beach.
No, in my other life I probably was shaking them buns. This life
I've seen worse at the beach,
rhythm.
bro.
Yeah, no. Have you?
Yeah, like strings, like literally just strings and
I was wearing
pasties.
strings as I could remember, though. Like I'm a Latina, so I always was into like the curvy, the tight lycra dresses, like everything the Kardashians are coming out with, and everybody calls fashion. Where I come from, we had the plastic shoes. We had from Aldo's, they had them when I was in college. I wore a lycra dress before American Apparel and the Fashion Novas existed of the world. We had those, it was 181st in Washington Heights. I forgot the name of the store. We wore this just to walk up and down the block. So, and then we wore strings.
Right, it's like just the summertime, going to the beach with Shorty or just being out. Like I gotta pretend like I don't see nothing. I'm just like.
You posted something on Instagram the other day.
Okay.
And you basically said you created this shit as it related to girls and their butts, the attention to derrieres.
Oh, I said that. I usually say I'm the Jordan in the game. I say I'm the reason why.
What is America's fascination with ass?
I can't tell you what America's fascination became, but I just knew that I was any African American Latin man's dream. I already knew that real women had curves. I remember being younger and wanting to be a model, and then realizing that I was way too curvy to be a ballerina because I was going to ballet school. I was already too thick on the bottom, and I knew that overweight shit because I was too heavy to be toned. up, and then I realized that I could never be Cindy Crawford because I was short and thick. And then I said, oh, I'm still gonna model. One day I'm gonna be all over these walls with my body parts, because to me that was beauty. To me, curves and hips and ass is all I saw in Harlem,
right,
in Washington Heights,
right.
So, you know, I believe that I know J-Lo did that when she wore the Versace dress, but I was already wearing that shit in the hood, feeling like mini J-Lo. So, you know, I guess in the world of just fake boobs, and then me doing these magazines and actually being a little bit different proportionate wise, I started the whole having a huge butt, and then came the butt shots, and they got out of control. And now I just sit back and just be like, all right, so is it safe? I mean, you know, what's gonna happen when your body starts rejecting it, or, you know, when you get a little older, are you really thinking about the way your body changes? Like,
do you think that horror stories?
Do you think that is the Kardashian effect, or do you think it's hip
no,
hop?
that shit been happening before the Kardashians started to, like, you know, I think how long Kardashians have been out? Because I stopped following them after
That sex tape with Ray J came out, I want to say when I was in college.
I wasn't looking at her fucking buns. I was looking at her head job and shit. Like, I was looking at the tape. I was looking at the tape to see what that mouth do. Like, I wasn't looking at her buns. I didn't even think I thought she was a pretty girl. I'm not thinking she got Armenian curves and none of that, although she was curvy at the time.
Right.
But fake buns, they were happening in the hood. They were at Sue's Rendezvous. Her name was Chloe, and she was one of the first chicks to come out with the fake body parts. I was 18, I couldn't drink, so they would put me in the what was I doing, a strip club with the guys? I've always been a guy's girl.
Right.
And I remember her, and I remember another dancer named Corona, and she was shaped like a bottle. She was bad, and she was so cute. All she had to do was a two-step.
Right.
I remember the dancers that really came out with the lip. There was a bartender at Jimmy's. Like, we could go on and on.
Right.
That's where curvy fake body parts started to kind of come out, and bartenders were still wearing clothes, all in black. They weren't out naked the way they are now.
Yeah.
So no, that shit ain't come from no Kardashian effect.
I feel like mainstream people. I think that that the look of a woman.
Back that thing.
Yes.
What? Like, let's talk music. And this the shit we saw in videos, and then when women found out, yo, I can go get that, it was over.
Everything's cheaper now. Like, I mean, because, like, just like you were saying in terms of the video vixen thing, there was like a prestige to it because you couldn't just find it anywhere, and then they just started cranking them out the factory.
I used to look at Melissa Ford and tell my sister, one day I'm gonna do that, when she was with Tigger in the basement. Mm-hmm. But I meant, like, she was bad. I remember
had the
she
biggest
was
crush on her.
Yo, she was a cocktail waitress, and I was out on a date, and she was the cocktail waitress, and I said, look at her ass, and I had an ass already, and I was like, God damn. And then I saw her on TV. I was like, one day. My sister used to be like, yo, shut up, you're always saying one day. And then
it worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Scoopy and Reg in studio with Tahiry Jose, talking about 718 Hoboken, discussing asses, and talking about her future.
We could talk about whatever.
Yeah, we were just talking about the relationship thing. We walked away from it because we started recording and everything. But I thought that was a pretty dope conversation in terms of, like, you know, your thoughts on marriage, the future, and all this other stuff. Like, how much thought do you put into, like, relationships in general? I mean, especially being you, because I mean, you have to be extra careful.
I'm a lover girl. Like, I was born a wife. But then I don't know what happened. But I was born a wife. I've always been in relationships. And then when I saw me realizing that in your 20s, in my opinion, from my experiences, you shouldn't be anywhere committed in your 20s, and you should wait down the line, maybe 30s, when you really know who you are, what you want, what you're looking for. You could play somewhat, you know, to know what you like, what you don't like, because you'll never know unless you try some things. But you should be more investing in yourself. So let's just say I spent some years crying over the wrong person. But from experiences, if I knew now if I knew then what I know now, I would have held on to my hymen and my love and my tears for like my 30s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some women, I think time also, like, that's just my opinion, and that's something I would have did now if I had the chance to, still with no regrets. But time, nobody can tell you when you're ready, when you're not. You know, some people have to learn through action and less words. Like, do what your heart feels like doing. Like, nobody, I could fall in love with you at first sight. You know, that's possible. Or I could be with you forever and still not know who you are.
Yeah,
or we can
crazy.
be together and then grow out. You know, just
People change.
People change. But I know that, you know, I've said no to 3 rings, and I know that I'm living my second phase in life, that I know who I am today, and if I'm ready to be with somebody, it'll be till like I grow old, because
Absolutely.
You know, those.
But dating has to be like a little bit more complicated for you because you're you, right? So do you date like well-known people, famous people, or do you just date like regular dude off the street?
I've tried to do both. I most certainly was a advocate of, you know, it's all about the chemistry, and fuck what he does. No. I need to date somebody that has as much to lose as I do, because when shit goes down, and we both have to protect each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we have brands and shit that we have to. But what happened? What just happened?
No, I was laughing because I was just thinking, like, even regular dude off the street, how does he even talk to you? How does he get past security?
I mean, no. I've had regular dudes with balls. Like, I kind of dig a man who's unafraid and secure enough to step up to me. That would get the like buns real quick. I'm just like, but like men that are indifferent.
Did y'all hear what she just said?
Wait, you gonna have everybody say, like, yo, I want to talk to you.
Here, rewind.
Like, fuck security.
No, but like I've dated men that are in different work fields, you could say, with different salary brackets, and they're insecure. You come home and they say, so what, you were out with that rapper? And you're like, no, I was at a party and we took a picture because we were the people at the party, and they just, or I heard you were, we've been sleeping every night together. Why are we having dinner? You're telling me what you heard because there was a rumor, or because you thought you saw something, or I had a guy who used to tell me, you're gonna wind up in one of them because you're always around them. I'm like, no, you're with me, I'm with you, and this is where I want to be. So I don't feel like I have to like prove myself to any man. So when you date with a guy that's in your field or something like it, he understands the schedule. You know, you
because you guys got so much in common.
In common, exactly. When you see them, it's like you don't even want to talk about work. You're like, dude, I'm exhausted. Good seeing you. It's like you know, it's dope.
Let me interject for a second. When you say you discuss the difference between dating someone normal, assuming 9 to 5 or whatever, versus someone who's a celebrity, do you find that the person who is a celebrity relates more to you based upon demands of you, time, where maybe 1 o'clock in the morning you're coming in from somewhere, versus you're dating a banker who 1 o'clock he's supposed to be asleep? Like, do you find that the reason why you date celebrities is because they relate?
If I'm in love with you, I don't care. I'm gonna be honest. As a woman, somebody has to sacrifice something, whether it's time as a woman, because that's in my nature. Like, if you're coming home and you're in bed by 1 and I'm just stepping in at 5 a.m., I'm gonna tippy toe because you're the banker, and I fell in love with a banker.
Right.
But in all honesty, I think my whole life I've dated consistently men. What is it?
Consistently inconsistent men.
Yeah, consistently inconsistent men.
Right.
Because I know that you wouldn't get that close. You wouldn't infiltrate this wall, and I gotta go and come back, and then you gotta go and come back, and it's just never consistent. So that means if shit don't work out, that shit don't hurt anyway. And I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm just saying it's easier for me. And when you deal with somebody who has as much to lose as you, you go through shit with the person, and you guys both protect each other, because you can lose a lot of fucking money. Versus the guy who's insecure and has a 9 to 5, and then you break up with him and he wants to put one of your nude pictures out. You know what I'm saying?
So finances come into like the picture then.
And brand.
I just need motherfuckers to respect what I do, because I work really hard.
Famous dudes are corny too. They put out
absolutely.
like, they putting out. They
I'm
dropping
trying to stay away
pictures,
from the corny ones that want to put my picture out. But if they do, better be the best picture in life.
So like, how
awkward.
important?
I'm just saying, like, anything's possible, but I try to stay away from them cornballs, because I ain't got time to be plotting.
Because if a sex tape drop, everybody's like, all right, well, it's out. Like, make sure it's you.
Solid, dog. Fuck it. You want to play? Let's play hardball. Yeah. My attorneys would be
so like, how important are finances in the picture then? How important is it that he maybe makes more than you, or he's secure financially, or?
I just need somebody who's secure financially. I could care less if I make more than you or you make more than me. As long as I don't have to worry about certain things, and we can both kind of, just kind of have some certain conversations, and and again, finances are important, but if a person's held you down and he happens to be going through something and you're doing better, why not help him out? So it all depends on what kind of, I don't believe in 50-50 either, though.
100-100.
It ain't 50-50, it ain't 100-100, but
what is it?
I'm going to rock with you if you rock with me.
When I was younger, I would think, you're sold the fairy tale of love conquers all and everything works out.
That's bullshit.
Now I'm like, yo, I have goals. You have to be in line with those, because I have an idea of the life I want to live.
The train is leaving the station, and the station is mine too. So you got to get on the train. But what? You got to go.
The person you're with could hold you back.
Exactly. No, absolutely. Absolutely. My mom used to always say that. Like, when you broke up with somebody and you look back and you see how far you've come, and you're like, yo, remember when you was a such and such? And he, for some reason, his vibes are like holding you back. So yeah, people can do that. You just have to be smart about it. But we all are guilty of being in some fucked up relationship.
Yeah, my ex fucked up my credit.
Yo, you let her?
I was maxing shit out to keep up, skipping work.
Oh man.
One of those relationships.
She didn't grab your card and swipe it and
boogie.
You was doing shit to keep up.
Yeah, I fucked up.
And you was missing work too?
Yeah. You're in that relationship. Yeah, shit. And then where you laid up and you're like, man, fuck that job.
Oh, that's some good pussy.
Yeah.
That's some good shit.
Hey, damn A1 credit. That's some A1
hey,
right?
That nigga
man, fuck that job.
got me hot right now. This nigga said he was in bed. And he was like, fuck that. No, I gotta go. I ain't gonna lie, I'm guilty of doing that too, but he ain't messing up my credit. I was just happy to be cuddling all day.
I love y'all. I can't relate. You ain't messing up my credit.
This was college, bro.
You never got you some good
Same
vagina.
Who, me?
Yeah, if you was like, nah, I can't relate, I gotta go.
Yeah,
you
that
have
shit,
to have that one chick that she was like,
you rethink your fucking life. Like, nigga, that job ain't that important.
I'm swimming in it. You're like, I'm staying.
I think traveling to go see them when you're supposed to be in class, yes. As far as money, no.
Where's the furthest you've gone to chill with someone or hook up with somebody?
And did she pay?
Skipping class in college. We talking about college? Yeah,
I've
skipping
flown cross country to chill with somebody, bro.
Whoa.
That's nice. Me
that's,
too.
But that's
See,
loyal.
I'm not guilty. I'm such a bird.
But that's you're not a bird. You was in
joking.
love.
No, bro. You know how beast you gotta be to buy the ticket, go to the airport, sit there, wait for the plane, sit on the plane for 5 or 6 hours.
That's what you do that's what you do when somebody lives out the country, please. Because like I said, my dates don't be normal. You want to take me out to a movie, I might have to fly, or you might have to fly. I'm not talking to old boy in the corner, so it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question though. Do you prefer long distance relationship versus somebody that lives close to you?
See, that's convenient, dick.
I agree.
That's that shit that you're like, it's snowing. You coming down the hill? I think I'm hungover and need a soup. Nah, but honestly, I prefer the person that's in and out like me. Whole you being, I'm not, haven't done that in so long. It makes me nervous to know I'm gonna come home to you every day, be like, hi, honey.
Yeah.
And then be like, I start missing gigs too. I'm like, let me just be.
Because you're comfortable.
Let me nurture this shit.
Because then you feel awkward because he just sitting in the house all day like.
Yeah.
Hey.
And then that's when you get your friends like, yo, girl, you better take care of your man. You're like, yeah, but I was traveling my whole career. And so I kind of want somebody who's as busy as I am, or who's as ambitious as I am, or who has a number of hustles, even if he's not flying in and out the country or town, to know that me and him at the end of the day, or at the end of every 2-3 days, we can sit back and say, hey, let's get this wine. Let's talk about how we made money, could make money, how much money we made when we went to sleep kind of dude.
Unless you work together, then you guys are traveling together.
Oh, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. That's all. Don't bring.
Because I know a lot of couples like that.
Poop, will you eat
that's
that?
a blessing when you're like, you live with the man, you go to sleep with the man, you work with the man. Like, wow.
That's Jay and Beyonce type.
I guess, yeah, but I'm sure that they had plenty of time apart from each other. So now that they're older, they're appreciating this time more.
And they got a kid.
And I think that's why I saw myself nurturing my last relationship, because I really never took my time out I felt for certain people. I play footsies with them, but then I had to go. But then as recently, I'm getting older, and I just felt like nurturing this person. Like, I was like, let me give it all the love. Let me miss some gigs.
But I think in the entertainment business, it's different. Like for me, I feel like your 30s are like your 20s. Your 20s are like your teens. And so I feel like you get married later in the entertainment business because you're busy trying to chase and build and nurture, using the word nurture. I think it's difficult to mesh, or you have to have the right person to balance.
It's scary because like the word for me is like momentum. Like when you start building up and shit's hitting and you're just afraid to stop anything because you don't want to miss anything. So you're just I got to put everything on.
Because you're getting so much money, you don't even know what to do with yourself.
It's like being, and I can relate to that because when you're in college and you're the man, you get it's falling in your lap, and I feel like in the entertainment business, it's falling in your lap. So
come on, look at Instagram. It's the Amazon. It's Amazon for women.
Yeah.
Prime.
I be looking at it like, how could I motherfucking be? I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't like women. I'm like, oh, all right, but she cute. I feel that I've both been in both sides of it. I've stopped somebody and said, we can't do this because you're not ready, and I don't want to hold you back from the greatness that you could become, and that hurts because you could be loving somebody and say, why can't we just do the J and B together? And then I've been on the other side of things where the person's left because he's not ready and he thinks that I'm too much and he financially isn't ready to be with me. And I looked at that person and said, it's not about the money with you. But he went to chase off his dream, and that hurt too.
It's dope you got that discipline, though.
It hurts, though.
Yeah. And you're a student of your craft.
It hurts, but you got to do what you got to do, and you have to let it go to see if
most of my relationships are like crash and burn. Like, we're going to ride this till we fucking hate each other. And then,
who wants to go through that? I'm a writer, though.
Yeah.
I've just gotten smarter. You can't force things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
You can't. I learned that the hard way after doing a hella crazy shit. You ain't leaving, and then you're like, oh.
Those are scary.
Do you think that Love and Hip Hop helped your career more than it hurt it? What are the pros and cons of doing it?
Pros and cons. Definitely a lot of pros. I did well. I was myself. I didn't pretend to drive a car I didn't drive, to have the job I didn't have, to wear the things I didn't wear. So I stayed in my lane, and I think, people kind of welcomed me very well. They can relate. Initially, a lot of brands were scared because of the reputation of the show, and then when they saw me on the show and they saw who I was, they turned around, and seasons later, it was easier to get, all the perks that come with the job. I can't complain, like I said, because I was my true self. I wasn't proud of everything I did. I will say, though, that after it, I have a lot more to prove because it's like you get boxed in. So if I am walking into the actor's world, they look at me like, but that's a reality TV star. Like, you really about to give her that role? You really about to have a read for it? So it's like I have to work harder, although... you have to kind of, like, I sit back and I look at the jobs that, the people reach out to me for, like, any scripts and stuff, and I have to make the decision whether that person wants to hire me just because I have a fan base, because now that's what the world has become, a number, or are you respecting me and the fact that I want to learn, because I won't make a mockery out of something that other people have really worked hard to do. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of respect the game, and I'm a student. I just knew that I was bigger than that show. So
it's dope that you take it that serious, though.
I have to. Why would I walk in here and pretend to be a techie and know everything that you could possibly teach me? Or should I just sit here and learn some shit and walk out with that knowledge and feel blessed that you've given me the opportunity in that platform? So I have to kind of, like, I walk in with all due respect to everybody. If I walk in on a radio and they want me to read for or try out for something online or whatever it is. Like, I remember doing 106 in Park and reading the teleprompter for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And I don't wear contacts. First time I popped them shits on, boop, boop, and I was like, we're going to get this motherfucker. So, I took my time to learn. I take my time to read scripts. I take my time to practice with my acting buddies. I take my time, to read that book just because I don't want to fail. You have to put in the work.
Well, this is the first episode of Scoop, B, and Reg, and what better way to bring it all together by having Miss Tahiry Jose.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here, and I'm in Newark, and you guys dragged me out here, but I don't regret it. I had an amazing time.
I'm honored you made the trek. That's most guests. Everybody's like, bro, I came to
Bro.
Jersey for you. That's like,
It's an hour away. But no, it's great times and food is great. And I got a nice little goodie bag I'm happy about. I might change
Shout out to
scoop for
Catalyst.
Reg. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Catalyst.
Word. Look, she doing for
Shout out Catalyst.
Shout out
Yeah.
Catalyst. Shout
All
out
right.
Catalyst. Well, the first episode, Scoopy and Reg, brought to you by Catalyst. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on all platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, TuneIn app, Stitcher app, iHeartRadio, all that stuff in between. And make sure to follow us on social media. We're in there like swimwear. And I think we out.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We out.
Peace. 3, 2, Scoopy and Reg.